BassResinator here, and it's time for Froggy Friday. And I made my own mold. This was a car magnet of frogs. So I have two of them, so I put them in there, and it's sort of like they're climbing on the car. But I thought that would be kind of a cool, they have a very shiny piece, so I thought I'll make a mold. You know what? I said I'll make a mold, and I have extra silicone right there. Gasp. Can't do that. Is that the only place I have it? No, there's right there. It's got it too. Well, let me use the little tool that came with my Let's Resin silicone kit. I thought I'd gotten all of it. And then I just turned on the bright light and I'm like, no, I did not. I still have more to go. Oh. What happened was, not that they floated, but they had a bit of sticky stuff to hold that magnet in place, and it held it up. So certain parts were up higher and the resin got underneath. Okay, I think that has it. So what I want to do with one is I want to make it green, of course. So I have olive green and green, and this is the Let's Resin colored resins. After I do these, hopefully it'll turn out. Sometimes you do stuff with UV resin, it doesn't come out exactly like you want it. I will use epoxy resin. I want the legs to be this, legs and feet to be this green, and then use the olive green in the other part. Now I am filming this a couple weeks in advance of when it's going to air, but this was an exciting day for our family because I had a new grandson born today. Yeah, everybody's excited, everybody's healthy. I asked my son said, "He's here," and sent a picture. And I was like, okay, typical guy. I know I was the same way. Said, so how's the mom? How's your wife? How is the baby? He was just like, he's here. And I know I get in trouble all the time because I think like a guy and don't think all the questions that a woman would ask. And so I was the same way when he was born. I just started, well, the internet was not like it is today when he was born. And so I had a regular SLR camera, single lens reflex. So for those of you that only speak digital cameras or phone cameras, it wasn't one of those. And I had a roll of film, and I took it to the 1 hour photo developing booth in a parking lot outside a store, if you remember those types of things. Had my Fuji film, not Kodak, I was using Fuji, and I had it developed, and then I went to Lamaze class without my wife, but I had pictures, and they're like, "Hey, where's your wife?" And I said, "Oh, she's in the hospital." "Well, what's she doing in there?" I said, "Well, she's there with our son." "What?" So I didn't have to take the last Lamaze class. I still got to be in with the baby and my wife, so. But that was me, and then they started asking all kinds of questions. I'm like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I'm proud I got a kid." Look, it was our firstborn. And so just like me, my son was carrying on the typical role male model. Okay, now this next one I am going to do colorfully with purple, pink, and light orange, which actually looks kind of red. So I'm thinking his toes shall be pink. Ooh, there's a pretty color, huh? He's got eyes up here that have little socket type things. Make those pink as well. Hopefully it'll stay there. And there's an air bubble on that left eye socket. There we go. Now, that's pretty. What is that? Air bubble, that's good. Now for the purple. Wow. That's a very bright purple. There's a big old air bubble right there. Okay, now I'm going to put it under my double-sided Let's Resin UV lamp. You know what? I need a little bit more of this in here. Ignore the color on that tray. It's on top of. Okay, now, bam. And both sides are going now. I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, these are cured. Let's see how nice they look. Dun, 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 dun. Very nice and shiny. I had apparently some strings of UV resin going. I'll clean those up before the final glamour shots. But yeah, that came out really nice. Now let's see about this purple and pink one. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I got some hangover on that too. I'll clean that up. Oh, there, got it. Cool. That is so neat. Now, UV done. Put those guys, because that didn't take very long at all. This next part isn't either. I'll show you. I have the Let's Resin metallic powders. Now, if you mix this into the resin, it looks like the color, but it's not nearly as effective as what I'm going to do. Brush it into the mold. And I see another little thingy. It was down in there. And it looks metal. Shiny, shiny, shiny metal. And a little bit of this goes along. Look at that. I mean to tell you now. I don't know why I tried talking all West Texas on you, but there's a guy on YouTube. I can't remember the name of his channel, but he's got a definite UK type accent. And he talks about the different Texas accents. Now, where I live is influenced massively by the Spanish language because of our proximity to Mexico. Now I'm gonna have to clean up the mold after I'm done because I got up on the edges. But and you go to West Texas and it slows down. There's more of a drawl. And I have some friends, close friends. The guy went to school with me and grew up. He was one of my neighbors. And then he moved up there. He went to school in Texas at Texas Tech, which is in Lubbock. And he ended up staying up in that area. Man, he got to speaking so slow. He definitely was influenced by that area. And his wife is from up there. So it's like, dude, are you actually making that accent? Because I know you grew up speaking exactly like me. But not anymore. That's not the way he speaks. He has acclimated to the West Texas accent. And if you go to East Texas, you get a little bit of Creole Cajun type sound. You go up towards Dallas and there's a different type of accent, and they are, you know. And then you get into what they call the hill country up by Austin and in that area. And oh my goodness, every place. I don't know if you've ever seen King of the Hill. There are actually people in Texas that speak just like that. And some of them, they start talking, and you don't know. There's a guy named Boomhauer on the King of the Hill. If you can figure out what he says, good on you, because not many people can. But that's the way some people speak. Look at this. This is rustic gold. That was, if you couldn't tell, silver. And when you put the resin onto this, this stuff sticks to the resin very well. And it will look like metal. I did this on the thinkers. You know those, there's 3 molds. One's leaning to the right, one's leaning to the left, and one's posed perfectly in the middle, so you can set them in a row, and they just look kind of cool. But everybody calls them the thinkers, and I did this on those. My word, they look like they should weigh a lot because they look like they're metal. They're just resin. There's a lady up in Michigan that I don't see her on YouTube, but she definitely has a presence on Instagram and Facebook. And the name of her thing is No Reason, Just Resin. Very cool name, and she does some really good, nice looking stuff with chess sets. I mean, I've made one chess set, and I didn't have the chess pieces, so I got creative with it, real creative. And mine was space, and so I had planets and things like that for the sun's larger spheres were the kings, and moon was the smaller, a little bit smaller, and they were moon color, whereas the sun was sun colored, of course, but slightly different so that you could tell one team from the other. And then the board, man, I decorated that crazy. I had fun with it, but I don't, not many people, at least where I live, are in demand for chess sets, so. Okay, that is rustic gold, and that is silver. And when I unmold these guys, I will clean up the mold afterwards. I don't want to do it now and possibly mess up what I've dusted in the mold. But man, that is oh, metallic. But I didn't use very much at all. It spreads very nicely and smoothly onto silicone. And come on now. And if you mix it, it mixes fine, but it doesn't stay. Well, it takes on a different character when it's mixed in. Okay, speaking about mixing, let me mix up my resin. Okay, I mixed this up. I did not put it through the vacuum chamber or anything. So there's a lot of bubbles, but these are very thin. In fact, I mixed up 0.5 ounces because I weighed these other guys over here and they only weighed 0.2 ounces each, so not much. Very thin. So I'm assuming going over by 1 ounce going by 1/10 of an ounce will help me. If not, then I will mix up some more. Okay, I'll let that move around and settle into the toes. If I need to, I'll come back and help it. Sort of start pushing it in, and once it gets going, it'll do fine. And as I pour more resin in to top it off, it'll get there because, as the mantra goes, resin goes where resin has been. Those are filled up. Okay, those are filled. Not here yet. Okay. So the silver one, by sitting longer, has already done its job. I'm using Bondcrafter, I don't know if I said that or not, the art resin. Okay, so now we just wait. We'll see after a while. Well, these are cured up, and I got out my handy big wipes and just went over the mold and got all that extra powder off. So that happened really easy. And that came out. Oh, got a little bit of this powder sometimes leaves a mark, but that's okay. I'll get it out of there. Okay, so mold over there. Silver, what do you look like? Looks like I'm gonna have to clean up. Must have over poured a little bit, but here we go. Wow. Yeah, I got a little over pour on his toes, but that looks just like the original. That shiny, I mean metallic. And here's the gold one. Wow. So we got green, two-tone, and then we got three tones of this pinkish purple. Cool. So there's my Froggy Friday. Get that all cleaned up. If you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so very much. If you are not, consider it. And if you are not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, go down here, click subscribe, and right next to it there's a little button with a bell. Click on that, and anytime I do something new, you'll be notified. And we also have channel memberships available. There's two different levels. There's the Blue Bonnet level and the Indian Paintbrush level. And if you sign up and become a member of this channel, any videos I do, for instance, this video that I'm doing for here, that I'm recording here, I am recording almost 2 weeks in advance. If you become a channel member, you're going to get those videos on the day I post them. So I have them, I post videos and I schedule them to come out on certain dates, but this way you'll have access to them right from the start. So if you want to become a channel member, that's one thing. And then the second level of channel member, there's going to be some other some extra things added as we go on. I just opened up channel memberships a couple of days ago, so still experimenting with what all I need to either give away or advice column or have lives, you know. Anyway, there's all kinds of ideas. If you become a member and you have ideas, then please let me know what we can do. So yeah, cool. I'll get a few stills of these guys, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye.